Thanks everyone for hopping in. Joined today by four incredible founders here, all raising live with Republic. This is our first unicorn hunt of the year 2024. So happy New Year to everyone. Did this 17 episodes of this last year. It was really well received by our investor base, our community at large, and then of course the issuers as well. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get underway with this event here, this edition here for January. So first and foremost, want to introduce our four founders that's joining me today. First, we have Adriel Tam, CEO of AdvisorCheck. We got Lance Friedman, co-founder director of IR with Aspire Biopharma. Got James Williams, CEO of Mayweather Fitness, and wrapping it up, we've got Suman Kanuganti with CEO of Personal AI. So really excited to hear from all four of these founders. Order of this event, we're going to go through some rapid pitches. We'll get to a Q&A session towards the tail end of the event. Please be encouraged to send any questions you have through the chat roll or through the Q&A function in Zoom. We'll get to those towards the end. I'm going to be sharing links to everyone's offering page as well, so please reference those. Be active on their discussion boards. These founders would love to engage with you after this event as well. Quickly noting that this is not a form of investment advice. Please do your due diligence when making investment decisions, and past performance is not indicative of future returns or anything of that nature. So we've got 30 minutes left here, and we got one more pitch. I'm really excited to hear from Suman Kanuganti with Personal AI. Suman, go ahead and take it away whenever you're ready. We can see your screen.
Can you see my? Okay,
Yep.
Great, awesome. Hello, everybody. Thanks a lot for the time that you're spending with us today. I'm Suman Kanuganti. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Personal AI. So, what is Personal AI? Think about Personal AI as a digital twin of you that is entirely trained on your memory, that will replicate your voice, that is grounded in your facts, and that will think more like you. And for technical folks, the best way to describe this is it's a private model. It's a private model trained on entirely proprietary and personal memory that every individual owner of that AI controls. And it is specifically uniquely designed for replicating every individual. So that's what Personal AI is. Now, the question may be, well, why, right? Well, I think from my perspective, it's very simple. It's about to be there when you are needed for the people around you or for yourself. Our lives get busier every day, every single day. As we grow in our career, it gets only busier. We have a lot more things to handle. But at the same time, the most important things are keeping those connections, being there for people, and continue to, strive and establish those deeper and deeper relationships. This is not a new problem. I think over a period of time, this idea of communicating with people has been in essence, in development for a long period of time. We started being there for people on the phones, started being there on people for in email, and then computers came along and apps came along. So I think from my perspective, AI is simply the next medium for us to be who we are, for our people to expand our time, access, and capacity for the people around us. AI is simply the next medium. And that's how I would see it. We had personal phone numbers. We then migrated into personal websites. Then we had personal social profiles. Well, it's time for all of us to have our own personal AIs that we own and that we care about and we train. So where is it currently being used? Well, simple use cases such as, I forgot, let me try to find it. Because, in the world of information, in the world of things that we are creating every day, imagine a second you perfectly being able to recall the memories that you would want, either for researching purposes, brainstorming purposes, ideating with yourself, thinking about connecting different dots in your life. Those are all the things that are possible even for a single person to tap into your own knowledge. Well, what else? Well, we always run into this issue of I cannot keep up with all my messages, and I can't either. Well, this is a model that is trained entirely on you. So it learns and has possession knowledge like you. So it can draft responses for you for your incoming messages and emails. You can review and you can send. It will also take care, AI takes care of the common questions, right? So if we all can focus on what's important. Even like right now on a day-to-day basis, I get so many repeatable questions on what is the difference between a personal AI and an open AI LLM. Well, my AI can perfectly answer that. Um, and then the other use case we are constantly seeing with personal AIs is like, sorry, I'm unavailable. Well, I think having a digital version of you could help people get started, where your AI can instantly respond to your teams and clients, or even brainstorm for that, byline article to reply for your marketing teams, or even answer those customer related questions. And the most beautiful part is when your AI stands in for you in panels and podcasts to represent and speak on your behalf. So our team built several different AI companies. Three of those AI companies are built by Sharon. My previous company was IRA. It was AI plus AR for blind. And in the effort of being present today, I invited Sharon's AI onto the call so that she can give her introduction. I pre-recorded this so that way it's very smooth in regards to the sharing on the Zoom. So I would just go ahead and ask, hey, can you tell me about your background and your work experience in AI?
Sure, I have a background in artificial intelligence, starting with my time at CSAIL Labs at MIT. My thesis focused on decision-making in clinical settings, and I've also worked on NLP to speech recognition at Nuance. I've had experience in finance working on hedge fund trading algorithms. Most recently, I was the head of ML at Glint before starting personal AI with Suman Kanuganti. Our goal is to build out individualized AI and PLMs. I'm passionate about using data and innovation to create technologies that evolve alongside humanity.
Thank you, Sharon. And that is entirely from the mind and brain of Sharon and how she would speak. And I found Sharon amongst 120 people back in 2019 with a deliberate process. And I spoke to OpenAI, Google people, as well as even people from Microsoft. Christy Kaiser, I've known Christy Kaiser for 9 years. She is a perfect champion in accessibility and UX. My description for her is she brings code to life. And for AI, it's really important. So what's happening out there in the space is that large language models we all know of is general intelligence. Our companies own it. In our case, we are solving for personal intelligence, where individual person gets their own model and it is trained on uniquely on their personal data, and individual users gets to own it as well. The fundamental aspect we solve is, unlike LLM, if you are using it for personal needs, we do not have any limitations on the memory. It's almost like super critical secret sauce that we have developed over the past 4 years. So personal language model is our development over the past 4 years. 2 to 3 years went into R&D, and in 2023, the whole AI thing happened. So here we are pushing personal language models for a different use case, which is more personal. Our goal is to make it accessible to everyone because everyone matters. Everyone should have their own AI. It is not something that should be stuck in just the platforms or access to big tech. And it should be economical. So that way, today, yeah, sure, for some people, but a few years from now, every individual person should have their own model. It's almost like an asset, not a service. Its simplicity matters, so that way everybody can actually train their AIs. Accuracy matters because truth is really important when it comes down to personal. And more importantly, authenticity, which is this core idea of, if you care about reputation, personal language models is the way to go, specifically to represent you and your control. Sorry, that's my own timer. So we built a full stack application without any dependency on big tech. So no dependency on any big tech solutions that comes from like memory, model, API as well. We have apps, which is native apps, and complete set of a suite of agents that we are continuously evolving. Today, our ideal customers are people who care about reputation. Because why? They care about authentication, attribution, and also accuracy. Those turn out to be licensed professionals because no other application LLMs will be able to provide the level of accuracy that we do. As we move into our milestones and get our models onto the edge devices, eventually we will expand our customer base. But right now, it is still not stopping anybody or anybody close to licensed professional to build their own AI. We've raised $10 million so far back in 2021 and 2022. Majority of the assets were built the technology has been developed. We got 10 different IPs. Personal AI trademark belongs to us. We have launched model one, we have tested, we have a lot more answers than questions. In 4 to 5 months of go-to-market strategy, we have done around 300,000 ARR. We honed in on our target market, which is licensed professionals. And in 2024, our key milestones include getting to the profitability, getting to 4 million ARR, as well as unlocking key distribution channels such as Samsung. On-device models will help us scale to the millions of people. So for us, invest, join us to be part of the future of personal AI, because this campaign is more than just raising money. It's about raising awareness of user-trained, user-owned AI in an AI industry that is pretty crowded with LLM-based solutions. So it is time to provide or give an opportunity for people. There's an alternate ways and alternate approaches of actually doing something meaningful for a different set of use cases individually focused. So I'm inviting everybody to join and shape that future, because we need community. We need people to push forward personal AI. And during question and answers, you don't have to just put question and answers in the chat. Speaking of being at many places at the same time, well, you can talk to my AI and ask any questions regarding the campaign or even the technology or even where the go-to-market is headed to, or just personally myself, who I am. Thank you.
Suman, thank you. And thank you to your AI as well as the AI of your colleagues. Really exciting. I'll actually stay with you just for one quick second, and then we'll get into a few prepared questions that I have, very broad questions that I can ask to all issuers. But Suman, what are some of the characteristics of an individual with that personal AI can duplicate, and what are the limits within that as well?
The characteristics would be if you care about truth, identity, and ownership. So LLMs does really good job for getting discrete tasks done. Like if you have a PDF and you want a summary of it, or if you want to ask questions to a document, that's really good. What we are building is a continuity of your memory where people can have conversations with today, as well as forever into the future. So if proprietary data is important, privacy is important, and you have a lot more people to serve around you, those are the immediate target market for us.
Sure. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Well, really great. I've got a few prepared questions I'm going to ask all 4 of these issuers. Many of them are super broad. And if you tuned in before, you've heard the questions before as well, though I think they're very relevant for everyone. Suman, would love to close this question out with you and hear what gets investors super excited about personal AI. And, obviously AI is very sexy right now across all of this landscape, but what are some of the concerns you might hear as well?
Yeah, I mean, the sexiness part is investors do get excited about the vision, and also we've been at it with fundamental core issues that we've been solving in terms of R&D. So they love the technology, they love the vision. The opportunity is not, about $1 billion. I think this has an opportunity to be $1 trillion company, and execution is important. Challenge-wise, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty, I guess, universally, people ask me, or investors ask me, like, how do you fight big tech? Right? Especially it is contrary to the things that they do, because we are very much focused on this like human-centered approach of, users train their own model, right? Users take their AI to their homes, like personal computers, personal AIs. I think my response to that one is, and one of the reasons why we had to, go to market, not from a top-down approach, from a bottom-up approach, right? Because when it's about, core value proposition is to the individuals and, professionals, we got to build it, and we got to push and create that momentum and make PLMs the, household brand, and personal AI household brand. So yeah, that's mostly what we get. Like, how do you fight the big tech? Because especially they will come down, from the top, like trying to crush you down. The utility may be same, or, sometimes it will be conflated because the market gets confused within personal AI. But at the end of the day, there is a lot more like value. It's an asset. We are not providing a service. Big tech provides a service. So I think there is a little bit of mindset shift that needs to happen in the market.
Asset rather than a service. Yeah, I like that. I'll stick with you for the next question here. And again, I see that we're answering some of the questions through the Q&A and through the chat. Fully encouraged. So great stuff there. Suman, would love to stay with you for the second one. And this is, probably a really broad answer, but how do you see the landscape of your industry evolving over the next 3 to 5 years? And you can even backdate that a year. How has it evolved a year ago, to today as well? Love to
Yeah,
hear.
I think to put it short, let's see, within 3 to 4 years, I would anticipate. Look, there are around 5 billion phones and around 2 billion websites. So I would imagine around 300 to 400 million deployments of AI use in some fashion, where you go to a service or you go to a business that's already you're already interacting with an AI, or you're trying to interact with a specific individual or a human. There is some form of AI in the loop. So that's kind of the growth that I would anticipate given where things are today. But within 10 years, that will likely be growing like 10x. Like we will start to see like 2 billions of those websites will have core functionality driven by AI. So websites will turn into more conversational, more experiential form factors, if you will.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Visit the discussion boards on these offering pages, engage with the teams. They'd love to talk to you as well. Appreciate the engagement and the activity here in the chat roll. We will start at Adriel with you and then go down the line. Thanks a bunch. Suman, we'll wrap it up with you. Any closing remarks for the audience?
Yeah, sure. I would say, I think it's time to take control of your life. I think we are still very early, and I always say it's 2019 of OpenAI is kind of where personal AI is in 2023. So we are seeing like tons of demand and tons of excitement, and it's also important to not be worried about privacy when you can actually train your AI on your IP and protect things for yourself. So I believe this is an opportunity, early on, 100x or even 1000x, I would think about it. But if you are a business owner, or if you are an individual, look out for the perks. We are actually giving away pretty good perks where you invest, you get your AI as well, and that in itself is a big return. Think about how much you are worth on a yearly basis. So that's how I would think about it.